Wow, wow, wow. Liverpool have been beaten at home by 5 goals to 2 against Real Madrid in the Champions League round of 16. In a match, they went 2-0 up very quickly. Mo Salah involved very early, good cross into Darwin Núñez, great finish by him, and then pressuring Courtois into a mistake to make it 2-0 after just a few minutes in the game. 14 minutes in, Liverpool 2-0 up, and it was easy. It was very easy. Real Madrid slow on the ball, sloppy on the ball. Liverpool were getting into attacks very easily, but suddenly one goal changes it all. Vinicius Junior, great finish from the left hand side, curled it bottom corner, or curled slash smashed it bottom corner on the far side, and 2-1. And since then, Liverpool were terrible. They couldn't string passes together, they couldn't get near Real Madrid, and Real Madrid made it their game. They made it a passing game. They made Liverpool play long balls. They forced Liverpool into areas they don't want to be. Defensively, the right hand side of Liverpool's defence, Joe Gomez and Trent Alexander-Arnold, it's not good defensively at all. Joe Gomez, 1v1, he's quite decent. Positionally, he's really, really bad. And, you know, time after time after time, Real Madrid were just going down that side with Vinicius Junior, and it was easy for them. The second goal again was a mistake by a goalkeeper, Alisson, getting pressured by Vinicius Junior, smashed it into Vinicius Junior, and it's 2-2, and suddenly it's 2-2 after being 2-0 up. And at half time you think, well, both sides are going to come out. Liverpool are going to put pressure on because that's what Liverpool do, but they were never able really to do that. And obviously they weren't able to do it because Real Madrid pushed them straight away. Made it 3-2 from a free kick from Eder Militao. Really bad defending there. Really bad defending. Liverpool, every defender there was static. On that line, every Liverpool defender was static. Didn't go near the ball. And Luka Modric, it was a great play by Real Madrid because Luka Modric just smashed it from the tight angle, and Eder Militao made the run, and no Liverpool player followed him. But very, very bad defending all night for Liverpool. They lost 5-2. Obviously, it's bad defending, but really bad defending all night by Liverpool. And the next goal, again, just really good play by Real Madrid. Good interlink between Benzema and Rodrigo. But really poor from Liverpool, just so static defensively. They're really, really easy to pull apart. And Gomez with the deflection to take it past Alisson. But again, poor defending. And this on that side from Robertson, Van Dijk and Bajcetic. Really, really poor. And Fabinho as well. He's the guy who had the 1-2 around him from Benzema and Rodrigo. Just so static, so easy to get past. And this is the problem with the Klopp side. He doesn't really know how to coach a side that's not high pressing, that doesn't press high all the time and dominate games. Once they're in a rest defence state, they're quite easy to go through, and these defenders are quite easy to play with. The high press really covered up some really bad defending, 1v1 and stuff like that over the years. But now they're not dominating games like they used to. Suddenly these defenders who were fine going forward, once they're on the back foot, they're really, really struggling. And Real Madrid get their fifth through Benzema. Too easily cut out of midfield, and then they're left 2-on-2 on the attack, or 2-on-1 on the attack. And Modric with the ball up to Vinicius into Benzema. Benzema takes it around Alisson, and it's 5-2. Really, again, poor defending. Liverpool just going up the pitch, committing players. At this point, you got to realise that during the second leg, you're not even at half time of the tie. Would you go attacking just before half time when you're 4-2 down? Probably not. They're halfway through the tie, they can't go attacking like that, and especially when it's not working. But we saw at the weekend against Newcastle, against 10 men, they've really struggled. Chances were happening, and it happened again today against the Real Madrid side, and they punished you. And they really couldn't respond. They didn't respond whatsoever. They didn't have any momentum going forward in any point in that second half. They had 2 shots in the second half. Real Madrid had 4 themselves. That's the kind of game Real Madrid want. They want it played in midfield, where they got Modric, where they got Valverde, Camavinga, versus the likes of Bajcetic, Fabinho and Henderson, who are not very good on the ball. And aren't, what they used to be 2 years ago, on defensively either, where they could just pressure you into making mistakes, pressure the best midfielders in the world into making mistakes in midfield. They're not like that anymore, and it was just so easy for the Modric and Valverde and Camavinga, especially in the second half, to pick up space. and then space to pick out passes forward. Like Real Madrid weren't attacking all phases of the game to make it 5-2. They had 5 chances. They scored 5 goals. That's all it was really. But yeah, I think Liverpool really struggled in that midfield, especially by Čečić. You know, these young players, they have good moments, and that's all you can really expect from him. So he's 18. I'm not going to say anything bad about him, but you can't expect that of him yet. He's 18. He's had really good moments, some really good games, but to have a 90-minute spell against the likes of Modric, Valverde, Camavinga, who've won the Champions League, Modric won 5 himself, you can't expect them to be good all game. And quite a few times he was in the wrong position, flew into some challenges, gave the ball away. You can't expect an 18-year-old to do that in these days. There's too much pressure for him. And Modric is just too smart for him. And we saw that many, many times, that these Real Madrid players are just so much smarter than some of these Liverpool players. And especially against Liverpool players that have been so used to this high press for so many years, and now they're suddenly not doing it. It's just so easy to break through. And now going on to the second leg, Liverpool have to go back to that high press and be exposed at the back. They have to go for it. They're lucky the away goals isn't there anymore, because they would have had to get 4 at the Bernabeu, which is nearly impossible. But they have to go to Bernabeu and get 3. And will they be able to get 3 without reply? Again, with this defence that's really, really not working, with this midfield that isn't working, with the front line that's a bit faltery. Liverpool did have chances to go on and score, but the amount of times where these new players, Gakpo and Núñez, their chemistry isn't there. Even Salah at times was just very anonymous. But when they did have chances, they just didn't do anything with them. They made the wrong pass or wrong decision. But when Real Madrid had the ball, they had the connections. They knew what to do, and they were straight at it. They didn't rush things. That's the thing with Real Madrid. They didn't rush it. The amount of times Liverpool got the attack and they would sprint forward and whip a ball into nobody, and then you go, well, just keep the ball, play it around a bit, and you might be able to find a chance. But when Real Madrid had it, they didn't rush it. They rushed it when they needed to be, especially for like that 5th goal. But the amount of times you go, oh, you can take that space, but then they'll just hold it back, play a couple passes, switch the play a couple passes, and then they're in again. But Liverpool is just so 100 miles an hour in attack that it was just easy to read at times for Real Madrid. And that is what Klopp's style is. But when they go 100 miles an hour in attack and they haven't got the midfield and defence pushing up like they used to have to back up that high press, it's a lot hard. It's a lot easier for defenders to just either clear their lines or just control it and play back out. It was really easy at times for Real Madrid, and it's a massive shock to Liverpool. They would not have expected this. Jurgen Klopp wouldn't have expected this, but they just really, really struggled with just a short passing of Real Madrid at times, and especially midfield, and that's with about their 2 of their first choice midfield as well, Tchouaméni and Toni Kroos. They started Camavinga and Valverde in midfield, and it was so easy to play through. And that was with also David Alaba going off injured. They improved after going off injured, but that's without him going off injured. And that's without Casemiro from last season as well. And I don't really see where Liverpool go in the second leg. They obviously can come back against Liverpool. They showed early on in the game what they can do. But Real Madrid are so experienced, and they cut through them so easily. I don't know where they can attack, and Real Madrid won't be able to find chances here and there. And players like Benzema and Vinicius are able to take the chances, because unlike some of the Liverpool players, they had composure in the final third to just be patient or find little spaces, and Liverpool weren't able to do that. But ultimately, this game was won in the midfield. Real Madrid's midfield was not only more technical, but they also outworked Liverpool midfielder at times. You know, Valverde and Camavinga and Modric were all over the place. They were everywhere, on the ball, off the ball. They were just amazing, and a class above Liverpool midfielders. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.